Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. In today's video, we're going to be casting some aluminum using some old radiator pieces and some old wind chime pieces. Well, originally I was going to cut up these radiators and, oh, hey, what's up? And, oh, hey, what's up? And, oh, hey, what's up? Anyway, those longer pieces I had, those came from the wind chime. So what I'm gonna do is set up first, get everything hooked up, and get prepared for all the pieces. And basically what I'm gonna do is take all the wind chime pieces and flatten them out first. So this is me going into my drawer. We're gonna get a crucible, and we're gonna get all the molds that I'm gonna use. I bought a few extra ones this time. I wanted to make some shapes, so I figured let's try a heart. There's a heart, there's a star, and a cross. So basically what I'm going to do is take all these aluminum pieces and make them flat. So I'm going to use my 16-ton press to kind of help me with that. I've also used a hammer, flatten them out, and then typically once I have all the pieces flat, I'll stack them up and then kind of just recut them into smaller pieces. I've tried many different ways. I've tried bending them back and forth, almost like an accordion or a snake, but I find cutting them in individual pieces is the best way to fit everything in the crucible and get the maximum space in there. So here you can see me, I got two pieces going at once. I'll flatten half of it and then I'll flip it around and then smash the other side. And that seemed to be a lot quicker. I had several of these pieces. I didn't realize how many I had. So my neighbor across the street, he likes to throw away stuff, and sometimes he's got some cool stuff, sometimes it's trash. But anyway, this is after I flatten all my pieces and I just have them clamped in the vise right there. So then I'm going to take my angle grinder and we're going to cut them into small little sections that I can fit comfortably in the crucible. Casting is relatively new to me. I've been doing it for a few months. I don't do it all the time, but the few times I have done it, my friend has come over to help me. He kind of got me into the idea. He's more of a copper collector. He's got brass and copper, and that kind of sparked the interest. I've always wanted to try casting. I don't have any sand or any, moldings yet. I just have the, I think it's, what kind of material is that? The black graphite, I think? Yeah. All those black molds you see laying on the circle discs, those are made of graphite. So I'm just quickly checking the forge, giving a quick little stir. Sometimes it loosens up all the impurities and all that stuff floats to the top. So I'm going to take a moment and scoop all that stuff out of there before I do my pour. Any old spoon will work. This is one for my kitchen. Ideally, you want to heat up your spoon so your spoon isn't cold, and naturally it won't stick as well. The aluminum comes right off. When I was doing brass and copper, it wants to stick to it more. And then finally, we're ready to pour. Always good to heat up your molds before you start. That's kind of what I was taught. You don't want that splashback. You're pouring something hot onto something cold, so you're going to get a weird, splashback bubble on the inside of that mold. So what I found is you just heat them up. The best way is to put it in the forge for a few moments. What I found with these molds, you can see here clearly having a good time. They're really small, and the crucible, the pour spout is pretty big, so it was very hard to have an accurate pour, if that makes sense. So I just poured the rest of this into the two molds I had, and those ones actually came out better than obviously the cross and the star. The heart one was probably the easiest because it has the widest opening, if that makes sense. Now typically when I'm done, I will dunk these in the water. I usually wait a few minutes for them to cool down so they're not in the liquid state. They're more solid. Brass and copper like to be softened that way. If you heat it up and dunk it quickly, it likes to soften. So again, this is a first for me with aluminum, and they came out really cool. It's a very interesting color, just that raw aluminum, and so it was pretty fun to see the finished product. Super light. Again, I'm used to working with copper and brass, so the weight difference is just extremely different. Even when pouring, I had a really hard time. So this is me pouring it into my small little white cup, and it's probably used for silver and gold. But that aluminum is so light that when you pour it out, it all wants to come out at once, and the pouring is not as accurate. You can see here with this one, I kind of added some copper and some other things in there, and you can see how different the liquid is. I don't know if you caught that, but I just broke my cross mold, and it is splattering everywhere. If you notice, I'm wearing shorts today. I've never really had an issue with molds breaking. I've been pretty diligent on safety for the most part. I got goggles, face mask, gloves, but I've never had a mold broke on me. The obvious one I was thinking about was if you missed your spill and it spilled everywhere, but I've never really thought about a mold breaking or explosions. So I'm definitely going to be wearing a complete different setup for my PPE gear. So this is the final product. I'm pretty happy with the hearts and the ingots that we made today. Again, this is a first time casting aluminum. You can see some of the other parts and pieces in there in that mason jar. Well, that's pretty much it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll be doing another casting video pretty soon. And thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Enjoy.